Cool. Corey, you up next. We'll do the Raiders.
Sure. Oh, the Oakland, not even Oakland anymore. Las Vegas Raiders. Start with coach John Gruden. Has a great personality. He was really good on Monday Night Football. But even with a ring, there is nothing on this earth that justifies the contract that the Raiders gave him. Like 10 years, 100 million is just absolutely insane. Like I would kind of question if the Patriots gave that to Belichick. Like that's just an insane contract. He 100% should be on the hot seat, but I don't think they can afford to fire him because they owe him too much money. And so he's going to be around a while. I don't understand where his reputation for being this quarterback guru came from. You know, he won a ring with Tony Dungy's squad, and then the Bucs got worse every year after. Like, I don't quite get it. He did a great job with the Raiders when he first took over. Then after that, he's an average coach. Offensively, Derek Carr is a solid quarterback. You know, he's not in an elite tier with like Mahomes, Rodgers, any of those guys or anything, but he is a good quarterback, and you can win with him. Had he not broke his leg versus the Colts in 2016, I think the Raiders probably go to the Super Bowl that year, come out of the AFC. He does have some weapons, Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake, Ruggs, Waller. They're expecting Ruggs to be a number one wide receiver. We'll see if he can step up and emerge into that. Someone's got to have to step up to be wide receiver 2. Bryan Edwards is the most likely guy I guess they're counting on. That I don't know about that. We'll see if the turnover of the offensive line ends up working out, because that was also a pretty odd thing, trading your starting center, moving stuff around for no apparent reason. So we'll see if Carr can stay upright for much of the year. Their defense was just bad last year. They spent big money on Yannick Ngakoue to come in, but they've missed on a number of high draft picks on the defensive side, like Cleveland Farrell and Arnett, and that's been a major problem. Word is they tried to trade back for Khalil Mack before the season, and I think that kind of tells you all you need to know about the way this organization is being run. Overall, I think the standout to Gruden's second tenure with the Raiders is the Khalil Mack trade and just the whiffs in the draft. We joked going into the draft that the Raiders were probably going to do something crazy with their first pick. And of course they did, because that's exactly the thing you want to have a reputation for. They've missed when they've done on all these moves. We'll see if Leatherwood ends up being a miss as well. The roster has gotten worse since Gruden took over that team. The rest of the division got better. I don't think the Raiders did. So I think it's going to be a really long year for the Raiders. I feel kind of bad for Derek Carr, but I got them at 4-13.
All right, Craig, what we got, man? That's your man. That's your team right there. That's your man. It's
my team. Me?
I'm messing with.
Oh,
that's your favorite head coach, man.
I do like John Gruden as a personality. On ESPN or when he was doing Monday Night Football or the rookie quarterback thing that he did. I like that. Like, I think he's a really good TV personality. I think he has a great TV presence basically. And as a head coach, you could kind of say that the championship that he won was Tony Dungy's team, and you can make that argument. And the so far with the Raiders, it just hasn't been there. So this is another guy that I think is on a hot seat, and I don't know if he's going to get fired. I don't believe he will, even if he has a poor record. Just because, like Corey said, his contract that he has, how much money he's making this year, but I think this is like a big time make or break year for John Gruden. Like this is going to be it. I mean, he has to do something. He has to be better. I mean, if this is any other coach in this position, 4 years with this team or 4 years with a team, and like he's never made the playoffs, a losing record. Like he's been out of there by now. But because he has that reputation and that name, John Gruden, like he's still there. But this is going to be a tough season for him because I don't really have too many high hopes for the Raiders. Like, and I go into pretty much every year, I have somewhat of decent high hopes for the Raiders, thinking they're going to be good or should be better, and they just never find that way. But I like Derek Carr. I think he's a solid middle of the road quarterback, kind of in that same Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr range. I just think that he needs players around him as far as guys to throw the ball to, which he hasn't really had. And this year, I mean, Ruggs was, and then you had Hunter Renfro or whatever his name is. Like he wasn't that good either. Like the best player on the team is a tight end as far as pass catcher, and that shouldn't happen. But it is what it is. Darren Waller's the best wide receiver, but pretty much best pass catcher on this team. Willie Snead, I don't know. Brian Edwards, nope. So if it's going to be Henry Ruggs as number one, I don't know who the number two is on this team. They're kind of in trouble there. So Derek Carr's numbers are just going to be what they are again. Like they're not going to be good again. I do like Josh Jacobs, and I do also like the signing of Kenyon Drake. I think Kenyon Drake's a really good backup if he's going to be the number two, which he probably is. But they make a good 1-2 punch, which is pretty much like you see what the Browns have with their 1-2 combination and teams like that. Like there's so many good teams out there that have a good 1-2 punch. So why not this team as well? And I think they could be a top 5 by the end of the year, top 5 running back combination. The offensive line, I don't know what they were thinking with this first pick, but Alex Leatherwood, like he clearly was a second-round pick, maybe third-round pick. Like, so they definitely reached on that. That was probably the biggest reach of the draft for me. It's because I thought they could have got him later in another round. Richie Incognito is on the left. He's on the offensive line as well at left guard. They really don't have a really good offensive line, and I don't think Alex Leatherwood is going to make him any better. So, I'm kind of confused with that pick right there. The defense is not going to be good again. Like I like the Trevor Mooring, whatever his name is. I like him. He's pretty much like I like Corey Littleton as well. He's another really good one. I don't want to mess his name up, but the guy from Baltimore, Yannick, whatever. Him, I think he's really good as well. So they have and they also just got, I don't know what Carolina's doing. They also just got Perryman for like a 6th or 7th round pick. I can't remember which one it was. I don't know. Maybe he'll start with this linebacker group because he couldn't start in Carolina. I don't know how. It's not like they're any good, but so maybe they'll have a better defense or at least a better linebacker group with Perryman coming in there. He's a veteran, so but just overall, man, I just don't have any high expectations for this team. I just think their offense is lacking. Their offensive line is not good. Other than the running backs and the tight end, I just don't see too many big things for this team. Man, I kind of got them going at 6-11, and obviously putting more heat on John Gruden. So 6-11 for the Las Vegas Raiders.
Man, y'all made some great points. Las Vegas Raiders. John Gruden. John Gruden's been the head coach since 2018. He signed that 10-year, $100 million deal. He's in year 4. The Raiders have not been in the playoffs a while, and that's since Jack Del Rio. And it seems like a really long time that John Gruden has even been to the playoffs as a head coach. I don't know what they're doing. Not only they got rid of Khalil Mack, they also got rid of Amari Cooper. And listen, he's a pretty good wide receiver, I would say, like better than all the receivers that they have. which is crazy. They got rid of Cooper and got rid of Khalil Mack. And they're struggling in their pass rush, and they're struggling with their receiving core. It makes no sense. They got rid of Reggie McKenzie, who was he hit on some drafts. He hit on some draft picks. Oh, and they just, I'll get to that later. They just traded Rodney Hudson, another Pro Bowl center that McKenzie drafted. Anyway, all right. The offense, quarterback position is pretty good with Derek Carr. And like you guys say, I agree with him. He's a good quarterback. He's been in Gruden's system for 4 years. But it does seem like Gruden is trying to get rid of him at every turn, which is, I don't understand why. I know as a Washington football team, and I don't know if Craig could probably say, I would love Derek Carr. If he ever goes on the market, I definitely would trade for him. I think he's a good, that's all you need is a Derek Carr you could win. Denver would love to have Derek Carr right now. They would love to have Derek Carr. So many teams would like to have, look, we have a defense, we have a good offense, we pay a middle of the road quarterback who manages the game, doesn't make mistakes. The running back position, listen, Josh Jacobs is great. Great running back. They did hit on that pick. But they need to use him more, I think, in the passing game. And they have Kenyon Drake. So that should be a really good running back duo. The offensive line, Colt Miller, he's been average. Alex Leatherwood, they picked him in the first round. He had a second round grade. The problem is where he got picked at, right? Maybe they should have switched the first 2 picks and nobody would have been mad. But it was kind of a reach. But let's see if he can adjust to the NFL game. The tight end position is one of the best. If it's not Kelsey Kittle, Darren Waller's in the conversation every year. He's phenomenal. The receivers, Henry Ruggs III. We had a down year last year. Hunter Renfrow. Now, they said Hunter Renfrow has had a good camp so far. But we'll see. He's a slot guy, I believe. And Brian Edwards. But everybody has a great camp until the pads come on and they play. The defensive line, Quentin Jefferson and Jonathan Haskins, they need to step it up. Colin Farrell was drafted 4th overall in the first round. And I don't think he's ever had double-digit sacks. And they just tried to retrade for Khalil Mack. So the receiving core, they got rid of Mari for Henry Ruggs. And you got rid of Khalil Mack for Colin Farrell, who hasn't produced double-digit sacks yet. Okay. They did bring in Ngakoue. We'll see. He was pretty good in Jacksonville. I don't know why the Ravens trade him. There must have been something there, but we'll see if he can bring his pass rush to the Las Vegas Raiders. The linebacker core is Corey Littleton and Nicholas Merrill. I mean, they just need to step up. The defensive backs. Casey Hayward is good. He might have lost a step, but I think he's the best corner they have on their roster. So if he stays healthy, that he's a legitimate corner. So, and the safeties, I like Trevon Moehrig again. I thought he was a great pick in the draft, and Jonathan Abram. But once again, can Jonathan Abram stay healthy? Overall predictions, the Raiders are not only in a competitive division in the AFC West, but the AFC as a total has gotten better. The Raiders have a good quarterback, good running back, shaky offensive line, shaky defensive line, young linebackers, young defensive core. So once again, I think the Raiders finished 5-12.